And we're live, back for another episode of Coffee Chat Live for MSPs. Here, celebrating fall, I've got the pumpkin spice latte in the background. I've got my actual black coffee sitting in front of me. And, back for another episode. Today we're going to keep it a little more casual. Going to, see if anyone, has any fall festivities going on. And in addition, we're going to talk about some new product release updates that are coming soon from Scott. They're actually released. We just haven't, made the announcements yet. So Daniel Park is on here to, talk about some of that. But I think first, let's go around the horn a little bit. Maybe David, why don't you start us off? Do you have any fall favorites or festivities? What do you like to do around this time of year?
Yeah. So, I got some little ones. One of the coolest things is trick-or-treating. They're a little bit too young to go yet. One's 2 years old and the other's 2 months. But I love handing out the trick-or-treating candy, seeing all the kids in their family come up. Did it this year. Scared my son, 2-year-old, a little bit. But, yeah, it was fun dressing up as a skeleton and having the spooky music on in the background and having kids come up. It's weird being in the parent role now, but yeah, it's been a blast the last few years.
Were they skeletons too, or were they dressed up?
No, they weren't dressed up.
It
was just me out there, on the porch, had the kind of set up, and yeah, no, they were inside, trying to not be scared of Daddy.
John, how about you? Did you have a good Halloween, and maybe talk about if you have any fall traditions?
It went well. I have a 7-year-old and a 3-year-old, and they both chose different superheroes that they liked, oddly enough, in different universes. My 3-year-old is obsessed with Spider-Man, and my 7-year-old chose Wonder Woman because she just wanted a female one. 3-year-old doesn't care. And then my wife and I tried to make sure that we were on theme by wearing a corresponding t-shirt. So my wife had a Superman shirt and I had a Tony Stark Industries shirt. So we made sure that both universes were adequately represented.
That's great.
My 3-year-old definitely preferred giving out candy after going trick-or-treating to the actual trick-or-treating.
Yeah,
I remember a handful and keep going.
Remember last week you were saying that your neighborhood ended up on some, top 10 list for
Wall Street Journal. It was a few years ago, and it's absolutely nuts. So I'll sit out front, and if you're not sitting there actually giving out candy, you can leave out, a good 2 pounds worth of candy, and it'll just be gone in 30 minutes.
Wow.
I buy 20 pounds of candy, and it's gone in 2 hours.
Wow, that's insane. That's so much candy. 2 hours?
Yeah,
I'm just thinking of math on
with the 3-year-old. They're going to bed at 8 o'clock, and of course, there's still people going around trick or treating probably till about 9:30, 10 o'clock. But I'm done.
So how, of the big bags of that, how many bags?
That's 4 big bags.
4 big bags. Wow, in 2 hours. That's impressive. No wonder they like giving out candy so much. You've got so much action happening.
Oh, there's a ton of action. I nearly lost my kid once, and definitely the dog got let out once. And that was its own little adventure. And this giant crowd of people that are surrounding my house. I'm like, oh my God, I can't get up. I've got people surrounding me. I just have to yell at the dog and yell at the kid and make sure they come back.
Wow.
It was an adventure. Didn't even have to leave my doorstep.
And Lloyd, did you have a good Halloween?
Yeah, we had on Saturday night, we had the annual Halloween pub crawl. And it was all up and down Bedford Street. You hit about 10 different bars and you get shots at each one.
Sounds like a busy night.
Yeah. No children allowed. They're off doing their trick-or-treating, whatever. It's time to get away from the kids.
And Jared and Daniel, any fall traditions or Halloween fun?
Yeah, well, I would compare my Halloween to Lloyd's. A nice night out on the town of New Haven. But for fall, I guess I like going to this place, Lyman Orchards, in Connecticut, and they have the pumpkin picking, whatever fruit is in season. I think it's apples, right? And they also have good apple cider. So I wanted to know, what's our opinions on apple cider? Do we like it, and do we like it hot or cold?
It's great. I love it cold. I've only
Yeah,
had
me
it
too.
hot once or twice, but living down here in Florida, there's no way I'd have it hot.
And I'm a big fan of it.
Wisconsin, we have it warm, baby.
Warm in
Throw a
Wisconsin.
little a cinnamon stick in there. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, so I like to I frequent hotel lobbies living in New York City. I don't know, that's a thing people do here. I don't know if they do that in other places. And they're serving at the Ace Hotel around the corner from me, and they're serving hot apple cider, and they had a nice cinnamon stick in it. It's great. But I like it cold. I actually, during the day, I like to drink it cold. I guess at night, hot is better.
Okay,
I know
so
that
you're just going to random hotel lobbies and stealing their stuff?
No. Well, yes and no. You go to the hotel lobby, you can order coffee, you can sit down. You actually, in many cases, you don't have to order anything, but it's sort of like the way that someone would go work at a coffee shop in New York City. People go and do it at a hotel lobby. But it's good, like if you're gonna go out somewhere, or you just went out somewhere, you're not sure where to go, you can go sit down. So I pretty much know all the hotel lobbies. I know like where you can get good seats at what times, which ones are loud, which ones are quiet, all of it.
You know, it's also fun is going to the top of hotels, to the rooftop bars. Like
Yes.
there was one on 32nd Street. Like the Empire State Building was right there. It was really cool.
Yes. Probably the Arlo Hotel. Shop. Daniel Park, what about you? Any fall traditions?
I have to say, I've actually never tried like real just apple cider on its own. At the recommendation of a coworker, I actually tried an apple cider mule last week. So that's a Moscow mule with apple cider in it. And you'd think it wouldn't work because like apple cider, lime juice, they just don't seem compatible. But it's the ginger that really ties it together, I guess, for me.
It's great. I love it. Okay, so next week is IT Nation. It is probably the biggest, if not definitively the biggest, MSP focused trade show of the year. I will be down there. I'm not sure if anyone else on the call will be down there, but I'm curious to see what's going to happen. How many people are going to show up. I think normally they get like 3,000 attendees. So I think maybe this will be about half that. I don't know. It's total wild card. I'm totally blind on like how many people are actually going to go. But just wanted to throw that out there, see if anyone else has been before or is going. And then if anyone's tuning in live, definitely, meet up with us there.
It's going to be a hybrid event. Do you know?
It is hybrid. They do have an online component. I have noticed when events are hybrid, that the in-person attendance tends to drop what they usually expect it's going to be. So we'll see if that trend continues. But I'm excited to go down there. I'm very excited. I think they get they rent out like Universal, a section of Universal for a night. So it's like all MSPs in the area, and the vendors and the sponsors. So I'm excited for that.
It's too bad it's in my backyard and I can't go.
Yeah, next year.
Did it go off last year with COVID, or did they cancel it?
It was virtual last year.
Virtual. Okay. I might have to look into that, or have you guys sent out the link? I'll just Google it.
Yeah, Jared can help you out. But yeah, I think so. This week, Daniel Park is working on. I don't think they're actually released yet, but we've got some new product features. So we just wanted to talk about some of them with the last couple minutes we have left. Daniel, why don't you get into it at a high level? What updates are have recently came from the Scout platform?
Absolutely, yeah. So I guess the biggest thing that we're excited to announce is that we have a Google Workspace integration and preview. So if you are a Barracuda Scout partner, don't hesitate to reach out to your account manager about maybe getting that set up, and we can potentially get you access. But basically what this integration does is it'll basically allow you to monitor data from like Google Workspace instances and like that'll include like attempts to bypass like MFA, potential privilege escalation attacks, or like any change in like administrator roles. Our monitoring solutions will catch that, and the SOC will send you an alert to determine whether that's a false positive or an actual, attempted exfiltration of data. So we're really excited about this because a lot of partners have been requesting that we offer monitoring in response to Google Workspace, and it's been something that's been in the works for a while. So we're very excited to roll that out. We've also got a new improvement to our Endpoint Production product, actually. So in the event that an installation encounters an error or fails, not to worry, your end user's endpoints will not be left unprotected. So now the way it works basically is in the event that the installation encounters an error, our platform will load a sort of cache backup of endpoint protection to sort of run that ring of protection around your client's endpoint until we can step in and resolve the issue. We're also always releasing new enhancements for emerging threats and stuff. We've taken all the indicators of compromise from the past month that we've covered in like our weekly threat advisories, which you can sign up for. I believe Jared or Jimmy can drop the link in the chat. But all those have been loaded into our our machine learning algorithms, and we're always keeping an eye out for that. Let's see, what else is there?
Yeah, I think like a lot of people miss that because when we do the threat advisories, in most cases, we're actually taking the IOCs from the threat advisories and loading them in and updating like multiple products from it, which I don't like. A lot of times it gets missed that we're doing that. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess the other two updates that I can safely announce are we've also expanded the capabilities for our Office 365 security monitoring. So now it includes a lot more authentication capabilities. You can detect brute force logins, any attempts to bypass single sign-on. Of course, if an end user administrator role changes in one of their tenants or whatever, you'll get an alert and you'll be able to determine whether that was legitimate or not. And then the very last big expansion that we sort of done is we're developing more robust systems for Linux and Unix. So it'll basically allow us to bring the capabilities of our XDR platform, I guess, in sort of more full force those users. Yeah.
Yeah, I think like this is pretty cool because we were doing a lot of time over the past couple months on the product side, reworking our internal platform. So like the different services that we use and like the way our architecture is built internally, we had to do a lot of work in our product team and our SOC spent lots and lots and lots of time on that. And they're getting close to closing the book on a lot of that work, and we're pumping out now. Like they work in 3-week sprints, and so they're pumping out now a lot of new features. So I can safely say that there's a lot more new features coming on a regular rolling basis now that we've got through a lot of that platform work.
Yeah, absolutely. As someone who sits in on the demos all the time and has to determine what's ready for preview or not, I'm actually really excited to see what we've got in the pipeline. And I remember that, Jimmy, we were at Secure 21 and there was a lot of talk about how a real open XDR platform needs to be able to connect with any sort of existing product and sort of be able to work with it to sort of expand your protection, make sure you see a return on like your current offering. So I'm really excited to see our XDR platform sort of reach that level of maturity.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've talked enough about products for a coffee chat. I don't know. That snuck in there somehow. Let's close it out. Let's go around the horn. We're at 10:15. Anyone have closing thoughts, words of wisdom?
Don't panic.
Don't panic.
In the immortal words of Douglas Adams, don't panic.
Love that.
I wish
All
Odell Beckham the
Me
best
too.
of luck. He's getting traded. So
Don't panic. Wish Odell Beckham the best.
Does nobody read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy anymore?
it's
I do. Yeah. We don't talk about the movie, by the way.
All right. We don't talk about the movie. We'll close out on that. Thanks, everyone. We'll see you next week.